I worked with a leader named Maria who was getting pressure to speed up system implementation timelines and give in to a certain outspoken and passionate senior leader. Yet when I encouraged Maria to ask herself, what would your leadership legacy of a fully optimized enterprise-wide software system want? She had to answer with more dialogue, more benchmarking. She knew that the leaders in her organization needed more information about the capabilities and the options for the system. She knew that they needed to talk to leaders in other organizations that had already been through the journey that they were about to embark on. So Maria stayed true to her aspiration. She set her personal discomfort aside, and she made the career risky move to go up against this senior leader. And it got shaky for a while. Some of the leaders who had previously been on board wondered, why would Maria go up against this highly influential executive? Right? It was the first in a series of decisions where she needed to look to her leadership legacy and not her self-protective interests for guidance. She stayed consistent with her messaging. She stayed true to her bigger picture commitment, and ultimately her leadership legacy prevailed. This system was implemented and fully optimized within 2 years, which is a really impressive timeline for a system of that kind and given the number of modules that they were implementing. And a number of the leaders said to her afterwards, after go live, that they were so glad that they had taken that time up front to really understand the decisions that they were going to need to make along the way. And more importantly, these cross-functional leaders were more connected, aligned, and operating more cohesively than ever before. They had better and faster solutions for their customers. Right? So a leadership legacy will have you staying the course when you absolutely should stay the course, despite the noise around you, despite the turmoil around you, despite the turmoil inside of you. We've all probably had times where a bigger outcome or goal had us doing something that we really didn't want to do in the moment. For example, going and having that difficult conversation because you knew you needed to get that person on board. Getting up on Saturday morning to run because you had signed up for that race. Or digging in and researching all the options because you needed to make sure that you picked the best possible solution. So think for yourself right now, right? What are examples? What are times where a bigger goal or outcome had you doing something that you didn't really want to do in the moment? This doesn't have to be hugely monumental. Just examples of maybe you went and had a conversation in order to keep a relationship healthy. Right. What are examples of when a goal or outcome had you doing something that you didn't really want to do? Take 30 seconds and think of examples. That's great. A leadership legacy is powerful because it has us committed to something bigger than ourselves. And that has us being bold and creating the extraordinary. Now, do you ever wish that the people around you would step up in similar ways? Maybe a team member, maybe a business partner, or even a customer or a family member. I have an offer for you. My book called The Courage of a Leader, How to Inspire, Engage, and Get Extraordinary Results was released in March of this year, and it became a #1 international best-selling book. There is a chapter in that book called The Secret to Helping Others Excel. Here's my offer. If you send me an email at amy@courageofaleader.com, and just put chapter in the subject or in the body of the email, and I'll know what to do. And I will send you a copy of that chapter, The Secret to Helping Others Excel. The second secret superpower that you get when you declare a leadership legacy is you get known for the work you most want to do. You get known for the work you most want to do. When you are focused on your leadership legacy and not launching yourself in a dozen different directions, then you build a personal brand. You get known as your legacy, and you get hired, tapped, brought into projects to do the work that you most want to do. When you're known as the leader who solves complex problems or who brings innovative solutions, then you'll find yourself brought into situations calling for those strengths that are associated with your leadership legacy. Others will come to you when they find themselves challenged, right, in ways that you excel. You know those executives that get promoted every 18 to 24 months as they're moving up through their careers? This happens in the big multinationals. Well, those executives did not get promoted every time for a different set of skills. They got promoted again and again for the value that they're known for creating. I recently moderated an executive panel in an internal leadership program. And all of the executives on that panel were very clear about their value proposition. And they didn't try to take it beyond the one top aspect for which they were known. One executive said that he's known for getting things done with global teams. Another executive said that she had been promoted the last 3 times because of her personal brand of solving hairy, big problems that others hadn't been able to solve. All of them were really clear about the top value they provided. When I was writing the Courage of a Leader book, I interviewed 37 different successful, amazing, courageous leaders. And in each interview, a clear theme came through about the value they provided, about the purpose of their leadership. I'd call it their leadership legacy. I took to writing it in the upper right-hand corner of the interview sheets that I was using. Leader as coach, quantum leaps in innovation, right? Visionary, right? Thought leadership. I might have already said that one. Right. There was a clear theme, a clear purpose to their leadership that came through. And that was true of every single executive that I interviewed. I checked. So now back to you. I want you to take 30 seconds and grab a pen and paper or open up a blank document. I'm going to ask you to write for 30 seconds nonstop. Just stream of consciousness, don't edit yourself. And I want you to capture your strengths. What are you good at? What do people come to you for? Right? What have you been good at your whole life? How do you provide value?